What's up, gamers? It's your boy Headband, and today I'm joined on the Gutbuster92 YouTube channel by Zephyr.
Yosemite Sam.
Today we would like to talk to you all about the American education system.
American education. Where do we start with you?
Well, Zephyr, that's why I brought you onto the channel today. I wanted to first off talk about the teacher turnover rates.
Sounds good to me.
In Hanover County, the teacher turnover rates are on average one teacher leaves for every 5 years. However, in Baltimore, the teacher turnover rate is one teacher leaves per every year.
What do you think could be causing that?
It is most likely due to the harsh conditions of the inner city.
Yeah, that does make a lot more sense now.
This also contributes to the higher teacher pay in Baltimore because they need more teachers. It's approximately $7,000 more per year.
Ah, yes. Rounding up the $38,000 they get paid over here to a nice, it's $45,000. Speaking of, can we talk about the sliding pay scale?
If you would like.
I just find it a little ridiculous because the idea is there. The whole, hey, you get paid more the more you do this job. But when you're taking it from the poverty line to barely meeting the average pay in this country, isn't that a little crazy?
It is indeed. That's why underpaid teachers is one of the most talked about topics when discussing the flaws within the education system.
And another thing, this whole idea of teachers needing to pay out of pocket for these school supplies, that can cost them as much as $500 to $1,000 a year, which could be going towards things like, feeding their family, paying rent, keeping the lights on.
Also, if you take that into a 10 years teacher average pay of about $50,000, using the worst case scenario of paying $1,000 out of pocket per year, that is about $10,000 that the teacher has to pay, which comes out of their $50,000 paycheck, which puts them right back to that $40,000 that we were discussing earlier.
Not to mention that in all of our teacher interviews, they said that they would not be able to support a family on just their own salary.
Yes, most teachers couldn't due to the grossly low pay, which honestly, it doesn't even really make that much sense because teachers do a lot more work outside of contractual hours where they're not getting pay or compensation for than they're actually doing within the work hours.
Oh my God, you are not joking. My math teacher had so many times where he had to grade it to like 4 a.m. And it's just ridiculous to me. Like, he's doing work for the school. Why shouldn't he get paid for that? That's another problem. Most of these questions were multiple choice, but you see, my math teacher is great and knew that, there's still other work that you have to check in multiple choice. And now, if I may go off about multiple choice for a second here, these things are just, I hesitate to call them the bane of education because I know that's going to cause a lot of controversy, but they really are. Because education kind of hinders on uncertainty because you need the uncertainty to, A, have the students ask healthy questions so that they better understand the material, and B, because it's as much about the process as it is about the answer. But multiple choice, the process is too obvious, where you can't ask any questions about it that doesn't boil down to what's the answer to this. And of course, College Board actually supports multiple choice, but we don't have time to get into all the flaws with SATs right now. But suffice to say that a test created to be, used for eugenics, I don't necessarily like that quite a lot. And they're so easy to cheat on. My God, there's so many well-known methods that even if they don't get you an A every time, are gonna do better than if you just didn't know things and tried to use them on, say, a project or an essay and just, multiple choice, I tell you.
Well, I liked the point that you made about kids not knowing, like, the process to solving a problem. Because it seems like teachers nowadays, at least, are showing kids more how the process on how to solve a multiple choice question more than the process on how to solve the actual question.
Yeah. And I hate that really good teachers have to use these really flawed curricula to try to teach us.
Yes. It seems like kids are not learning anything in school. They are memorizing content for a month or so, and then the test happens, then they forget it and memorize something new.
Yeah, and speaking of not learning anything, in Colorado, the organization Chalkbase found that 6 in 10 third graders can't read proficiently. That's insane. This is a study conducted across 30 of Colorado's largest public schools. And there were 36 different curricula used. And sure, that's not a weird number of curricula, but if they're this bad, we need to trim it down at least a little bit.
Seems like they're relying more on Dr. Seuss to teach kids how to read than the actual schools.
You are not lying about that one, my friend. And another teacher that we interviewed also had something to say about teachers needing to specialize in one topic instead of having general knowledge so that they could educate in a smaller amount but more topics.
I agree. I think that teachers should have one focus. That way they can focus on it well instead of having to focus on 5 different things and be mediocre at it.
Exactly. But I think that's about all the time we have for today. So.
Yep, it is. It was nice having you here.
It's been nice being here.
The internal organs at home will have appreciated you. Well, good night.